Morning, Dave.
Morning, Manoj.
How are you doing?
Good, and you?
Good.
Sleep well?
Yeah, very well.
Right, great. You ready to go?
Ready to go.
Let's hit the road.
I'm Manoj Sionath, here to meet with David McGlure, IDC Regional Manager for the Northwest Province, who is going to unpack key focus areas in the province and take me to a few IDC-funded projects that are making a real impact on the economy of South Africa.
So how has the IDC done in the Northwest, say, over the past 5 years?
Manoj, extremely well. We've approved over 40 projects or applications. Last financial year, we had an approval, one hotel right here in Mafeking, owned by young people.
We started in May 2013 with the construction of the first 6 suites. We currently have 26 suites, which are all fully self-catering.
Since it is a self-catering unit, what we tried to establish from this was sort of a home away from home for people that are traveling a lot, or business people that are on the go quite a bit.
The Rasma One solar farm was developed 3 years ago and consists of 29,500 modules and is developed on 20 hectares of land close to Rustenburg, and it's been in operation for 3 years now and producing electricity every day for Eskom.
This factory manufactures woven polyprop bags, shade netting, agricultural bags for the packaging of onions, cabbages, all fruits and vegetables. And we are one of the major manufacturers in South Africa.
David, as the regional manager of the Northwest, how would you say you and your team go the extra mile?
One of the examples is, a few years ago, 3 ladies walked into my office and they told me they're pregnant. So immediately I'm like, okay, what does that have to do with me?
This is Flora Makama. She was one of the women. She's a clinical psychologist and also a shareholder in this facility.
I was inspired by my job to say I must come up with this wellness clinic.
They were pregnant with this hospital, this wellness center that they want to establish within Mafeking. And we walked a long road with them, from preparing the business plan, funding it through IDC.
And then when it comes to the services that we offer, we are having what we call a comprehensive program. So we deal with depression, we deal with post-traumatic stress disorder, we deal with anxieties.
Quite a lot of families, outside here are benefiting, on this project.
I met with Dr. Chabalala, while I was still working for the other company. So he told me about the facility that's coming up. And then we learned that there is no pharmacy here and they are going to require medication for this. Then I decided to come on board.
Mr. Tayyab, how did you approach the IDC to get involved in your business?
Funny you're asking that question, Manoj. I actually saw Mr. Tayyab on TV and they profiled his business and I made contact with him.
And it was such a coincidence, we were looking at going into a project to manufacture the block bottom bags. And when David approached me and told me that the IDC has also got a good scheme there, if you create employment, they will look at it favorably, providing that it makes business sense.
I think the most important thing is to get approvals for youth-owned businesses.
So the IDC came in to assist with the completion of the D block and provided full financing for the E block, which we've now just completed. One of the biggest challenges for the youth is you don't have actually a track record. And that is one of the biggest problems in terms of getting funding and getting support. Specifically from David and the IDC side, I think that there's that willingness to develop with the youth and provide the funding.
We must uplift our economy here. I wanted to make sure that we have a healthy society with a healthy mind, and I was denied budget to do that. One day when I was in my office, I got a call from IDC. They gave us all the prerequisites, the requirements, everything that we need to follow.
So it's one of those stories where we really had to hold their hands to make their dream a reality. And today the baby has been delivered and they are very excited.
As Momentous Energy, we initially put the money in for the project, to develop the project, get the environmental consents, and then at that stage we approached various organizations, and one of the key organizations was IDC for funding.
It's not only the very first solar farm, but it's also the very first one that was connected to the grid. And that was also quite a nice project with the community involvement through the trust there.
The community does own 17%. This 17% has been funded by IDC.
Our first project was to sponsor students to Orbit College to do the electrical engineering. And also the school, Pedro Tiff, we assisted by revamping the whole building.
also looking after the community. In our company, we also run 2 social schools in this area. So we do our social part as well as look at creating jobs, which is a betterment for our country.
IDC made it a point. The people that are around here should be the people that benefit to this project.
The last 5 years, we've created over 20,000 direct jobs.
We very, very close to 100, sort of employees, a lot of female staff, that are working.
When we started off in May 2013, we were only 4 staff. Since then, we've managed to grow to around 12 staff.
So we have about 31 people that works for Momentous, and 70% of that is from the local community.
Today we employ about 600 to 800 people.
What impact did IDC's funding have on job creation in this area?
Hopefully when we reach the second ship and the 2 million target, we'll employ at least 120 people.
I became an operator for 2 years. And then after then, that's when they recognized that I can do better than that. And that's when they gave me the position for supervision.
It's not easy to work on this machine.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that you go through it, but the training was fantastic.
We can train our operational staff, bring in younger, unskilled labor force into knowing and further developing our products with them, instead of always relying on having people coming in from overseas.
Where are we in Northwest at the moment in terms of, are we expanding in terms of industry?
So from a tourism point of view, we are very well positioned to really tap into that market. So I see that growing even further. This is the gem of the Northwest Province, the Pilanesberg National Park.
We do host the whole Big Five: lions, leopards, elephants, rhinos, and the buffaloes.
Within less than 2-hour radius, you can get to one of the country's best lodges, game parks, etc.
With regards to Shepherd Street, fairly new lodge in the park, just 6 years old, opened up in 2010.
So tourism, I think there's a lot of opportunities that are opening up that I think the sector is taking really control of to tap into that market.
David, I had fun and I'm very impressed from a business perspective. I think there's a lot going on in Northwest in terms of expanding businesses.
We are still expanding, and then we're still going to add more employees, and then we are going to sort of lift up the economy.
We are shining. The sky is the limit.
The plans still make provision for approximately 80 suites.
I'm sure the IDC can play a role in assisting you with your expansionary plans.
Basically, the cheaper you can build these solar farms, the cheaper electricity we can produce.
So I can safely assume IDC is your partner in development finance?
Yes, definitely, and this makes me also bold enough to look at other projects. If the idea is sound, they will always look to finance it for me.
Manoj, there's a Setswana word that says kgatelopele, which means moving forward. And that is the word I think that describes the Northwest perfectly.
Thank you, David. All the best. Yes, well done, well done.
Great.
Go well.
Great, Manoj.